This is the FarmHopLife podcast. I'm Matt DeRozier. This is the Monday Night Men's Forum. Wow, I'm out of it. We're talking year in review. And so tonight we have Christopher of Secure Coop, we have Grant, Homestead of Pain, and Scott, Thriving the Future podcast, and Long Story Farms. So how's everyone doing tonight?
Just good. Ducky.
I'm doing pretty good.
You just say just Ducky?
Just Ducky.
Just Ducky. All right, Mr. Ducky. Why don't you go ahead and share a personal event, please?
Yeah. Boy, I spent all day looking at different kinds of motors, literally all day long looking at different kinds of motors to put in the Secure Coop device. And I finally found one I remembered. Oh, yeah, this guy. I looked in the box. I bought this thing back in about like 2 or 3 years ago, and I hooked it up. And there's a real particular set of schematics and things to make it work on the right size battery. And if you go with a larger battery, then you got to change a lot of this. And there's like little changes can have big domino effects. So I was just trying to find just that right motor. And I found one. I put it on a test. I put on a large weight, lifted up, and it was very happy. The other thing that happened, people in Florida hate cold, and it is cold for me. and like it's 33 degrees right now, and I know it's not a contest.
42 degrees here right now.
It's colder in Florida than Colorado. That's nice. Oh, Montana. Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, no, it's like so this morning Charisse gets up and she says, this vent is not blowing right, and the propane is like really weak. I go outside, check it, and the propane hose is leaking. Oh crap. And then on top of that, she's like, this vent in the bedroom. So I changed the tank and I say, okay, well, I got the hose where it's mostly not leaking. Go back to the bedroom and say, all right, what's going on with this? I said, I have an inspection camera. I got those on USB at like $5.
Sure. Yeah,
those things are great. It was like $5, and I put it on a wire, jammed it down into the heat register, and looked through it. Didn't see any obstructions or anything. But I got to looking at the register. I was like, wait a minute, the little flaps are pointed the wrong way. And it just needed to turn the stupid thing around, and the life came back in the heat, and we're like, we're it's normal again.
How did it even get wrecked? Like, because I'm assuming they were the right way this whole time, and then all of a sudden they weren't.
Somebody took it out and didn't put it back the right way. I'm guessing one of the Rugrats, because they're notorious about not putting things where they should.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, went down. So then ran down to the propane seller, the propane dealer down there, and I asked him for a new pigtail. He made it up from copper line and put it on, and life is great again. We have heat again.
Nice.
Which is like, if it gets any colder, I'm moving to Florida.
You can move to Cuba.
Yeah.
It's not that far away.
It took me a minute that you live in Florida.
Yeah. That's the joke.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you get acclimated to the heat, you want nothing to do with any kind of cold at all. And on top of that, it's real moist. I had a boss that was born and raised in Moscow, Russia, and he said it actually felt colder here. So it just like gets into your bones.
Sure.
I'm such a cold weather wussy. Now, Category 5 hurricane, sure, no problem. But 60 degrees and I'm just dying.
Well, at least you got heat. Excuse me. At least you got heat again, and you had you got some success in the Secure Coop.
Got it. Yeah, we're getting closer. Yeah.
Grant.
Yes.
Quit battling or whatever it is you're doing behind that thumbnail.
Mm-hmm. My personal event this week, what I would have to say, I have really been focusing on my TikTok, and I'm fixing to hit about 600 subscribers. One of my videos hit like 6,000 views. So I think that's it. I'm going ham. I've got 14 videos on backlog already uploaded that I'm gonna just do 2 or 3 every day. Going back in my camera roll, getting like all like the good, picture perfect, things you put out in the summer. Just put them out in the winter because people
Nice.
are missing that. Everything's so drab right now. I'm just gonna do like a 2022 catch up.
There you
And
go.
then in the start of the new year, I'm gonna really get into making videos and like of what I've been doing the last 3 years.
Nice, dude. That's great that you have that whole backlog to get from. So
Yeah, it really is.
Long story, I muted you, just FYI. Scott, go ahead.
Oh man, it was cold here. So minus 30 wind chill factor. Had some chickens got some frostbite
Ooh.
on their combs and stuff, but we all made it through. Burned a whole lot of wood this week. Other than that, been recording some podcast episodes and just got done making some bread pudding.
Cool.
For the
Bread pudding.
second time.
Never had it.
Figgy pudding?
Not figgy pudding. Bread pudding.
Okay.
What is that?
Yeah, I love bread pudding. It's good.
Yeah, basically you take old stale like French bread and you drench it in butter, and then it's basically like a custard mixed in with it, custard sauce, and then bake it, and it comes out all soggy and toasty and cinnamony and all that stuff put together.
Yeah.
I guess if I was into eating bread, I'd love it because
no, it's one of those things you got to try it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's like cinnamon roll with custard mixed in with it. It's like a cinnamon roll in custard.
That does sound pretty good. Except my system's like all jacked up from traveling for work, but that's a different story. So I'm not doing the carb thing right now, like ever again. I feel so awful. Long story. Go ahead.
Well, the big issue for us is the entire water system for the farm got blown up by the storm. So,
oh my goodness!
I've been
dang.
carting water over to the animals and trying to figure out just how far the broken pipes go, kind of thing.
Wow.
So that's the priority number one. But other than that, just a nice holiday. Enjoying time with the kids. My oldest of the 3 boys graduated from the university. He's 19 actually, which is pretty cool. So it's always great when your kids get out of college faster than they're supposed to. It saves a little money there,
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but anyway, so he's now on the market for a job, and hopefully he'll figure out something on that soon. And but yeah, so those are kind of big personal things. Celebrated 27 years of marriage a few weeks ago, so all good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. What area or industry is he looking to get a job in?
He's not too focused on industry. He's more just computer engineering. So he's done his schooling is hardware and software. So he's just just kind of looking anywhere. He probably wants to stay more on the software side for now. But
nice. Yeah, it's been nuts following your frozen water saga on Twitter, dude. Those you're pulling out all the stops to get water back in flow and everything.
Yeah, it's a the thing is that we've had even colder nights than what we had, but we haven't had the wind, and we haven't had 70-ish hours straight of freezing temperatures. And for a southern boy, I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what would be enough. And the pressure tank and cistern are under an open air shed, so the wind was just cutting right through there, and it just normally that cistern emanates quite a bit of 55-degree heat coming out of well water coming out of the ground, even in the winter, and that's usually been enough to get you through a night. But when you have the wind chill, just whipping all that radiant heat away, man, I just wasn't looking for that. normally I just throw a moving blanket over the pressure tank and no problem, you know. But yeah, it didn't stand a chance. Blew everything up, man. I mean, everything that's above ground is basically toast. So
Wow.
By the way, it's never enough. No matter what you have in like what you have prepared or whatever, there's always something that you're lacking in order to to get back on track. So it's there would have been something to fix. So yeah. So my personal event, I got back home at like 12:30 Christmas Eve after being gone from a work trip. I had to go to North Dakota for a couple days, and I was posting about it, and we were getting the feels like was negative 52 degrees where I was at. And not gonna lie, after a certain point, it just doesn't matter anymore what the temperature is. We got the car stuck. We got our rental car stuck, and so we had to spend an hour and a half digging out all the packed snow underneath. Happy Monday, Eric, by the way. And so that was an experience that I really don't want to have again. So like the snow is like, it's dry and then it's like whipping you in the face. And so like I just basically took my hood and pulled it directly over my head and I was like scissor kicking underneath the car to get all the snow out there. Like so stupid. Oh gosh, it was dumb. But
you got it out.
We got out. Nobody had to pull us out. That's
cool.
This isn't necessarily the best video I have here, but this is a video I have here. How do I make this bigger? So this is my boss. he was shoveling us out of the snow.
You're making me feel warm.
I can send you like 10 of these videos. So let's see. Do I have another one here? I might have another one. Yes. Oh, I stopped it. Okay, good. There was. Come on, play for me. It's broken. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that was it. But I was glad I made it home for Christmas. So that was it.
Yeah.
Good to see the family.
But you made it. That's the big thing.
I made it. Yeah, they closed down the interstate, dude. I was like, we had to wait for them to open it back up. Visibility was 0, and like when we finally were on our way, like there were like 8-foot snow drifts that the plows had to go through off the interstate. Yeah, it's nuts. But anyways, let's talk about just this year in review, some wins, some losses. Let's just go around again. Christopher, why don't you start us off? Give us a loss first.
A loss. It has been a solid good year, so I can't think of any major thing that I could say that I would go back and that I regret that. I just haven't had bad things happen this year.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like monumental.
I had to go back into the office. That was a loss. I had to start commuting into the office again. And I told you I car camp in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just make do, and it's all right. It's not like the annoyance level of that is like 3 out of 10.
Sure. All right. Let's start bragging. Let's hear some wins. Let's go.
Me? I'll go.
We know what you're gonna say. So
I mean, not exactly.
I've been really firing well in the last 2 weeks. Studied the concept. I forget if I told you on last call, but it was about dopamine.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I've been practicing that, and it's really good. I've been real sensitive and aware that if I go into social media, or if I go into something that's a time sink, that it's going to be, like a waste of time, like a YouTube, or even if it's partly useful, it's going to be a it's gonna be sucking my motivation, and I just go into it with eyes wide open. And so it's not like I don't get into socials and that I don't watch
There we go.
videos and things like that, but I'm just asking myself, what am I trading for this? What am I losing for this? So
Right.
is now a good time for it or not? And so it just raised the cost of those sorts of things in my mind in such a way, and as a result, just getting more done now. I don't think I'm there 100%, but like just feeling a whole lot better every day. So I'm glad about that.
Good. That's a good
Yeah.
mental win.
Yeah, that's a big, because just dragging my butt was hurting everybody around me, and just making everything slow and making progress so excruciating. And now it's like, okay, we're getting this done, we're getting this done, we're getting this done. Hey, how are we going?
You're in flow.
I am. I'm getting there.
You're in a flow state.
That's
Nice.
a big win. That's a big win. That's been something I've been looking for like 15 years. If it sustains, I've had these highs and lows and highs and lows. So no early celebration yet. But if it sustains, it's a really, really encouraging thing.
Hey, dude, you got to take the wins as they come. You can't just focus on like, okay, it was an overall loss, but
right.
I gained some ground. So
that's what I tell my friend who I've been in regular conversation about this. Like, we celebrate the little wins as they come, and if they don't, if tomorrow it's gone, it's gone. But I had 2 weeks of solid, so let's thank God for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Grant, go ahead.
Okay, I will say I've been blessed. This has been the best year of the 21 I've lived so far. If I could live it over again, I would live it exactly the same. I haven't had hard. The only fail I could think of while he was talking is I've dropped the ball with some livestock earlier in the year, and they died. That was my fault. And but other than that, I got a job. Thought I was gonna hate it. Loved it. Crushed it. I went back to school after 3 years.
Cool.
Thought I wasn't gonna like it. Loved it. Crushed it. I lost that job. Wasn't terrible with it. Got another job. Loved it. Crushed it. And I'm doing great. I'm loving it, and I'm crushing it. So I can't complain. I have been extremely blessed to be able to succeed everywhere I have succeeded this year, and hopefully I'm going to continue that next year.
You better, otherwise you can't come on here anymore. You're our like golden child. You realize that, right?
Oh shucks.
We're living vicariously through you,
right?
Yeah, for real. If you falter even a little bit, you gotta go, man.
Okay,
you're giving them that high standard.
See, the thing is, give me the high standard because I'll just pass it.
All right. We'll do goals for Grant 2023
Oh, no.
in the next episode.
Oh, well,
Something ridiculous.
Okay, I'll get it done.
You're done.
Make six figures in the first quarter.
All right. Does it have to be at a 9 to 5?
No, it doesn't have to be a 9 to 5. That would handicap you.
All right, then we're robbing banks.
They don't have money.
True, that's true.
Jacking up banks.
But the way school's going, close family friend of ours, close enough to basically just be family at this point. He's been going to a 4-year school for forestry, but they may deploy him again, so he's just gonna maybe just give up on that. But we talked for about 5 hours. It felt like just about nothing but trees and natives and everything. So when I'm done getting my associate in horticulture, I may be going to a 4-year to get a bachelor's in forestry. So things just keep going and going. I just keep loving it so much more.
Rocking it.
Yeah, didn't you get like you got 50 out of 50 correct on the plant identification, tree identification?
Yes, I don't know about spelling, but I did them right.
Cool.
So, and then I probably could have done 85 out of 100.
That's amazing.
So you know that 5-hour talk that you had with a friend of yours? That could have been like 5 1-hour like podcasts or
Well-
like 500 TikTok videos.
Yeah, but it was at a memorial, and we just kind of.
Perfect.
I mean, not really, but him and his buddies at ABAC. He wants to get them to do a podcast that talks about trees, so I can maybe just crash it too.
You would crash that.
You should.
Yeah, you should. Like not uninvited. Just be like, hey guys, I heard you got a podcast.
just
I got a microphone and
somehow,
headphones.
somehow get the StreamYard link. I was hoping to have my camera set up by now, but it's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
I have it. I can send you.
We
I
don't
can
really
send
need
you
to
a
know what
picture.
goes on behind the scenes over at your house anyway. So you
Oh,
can keep
no.
that totally private. That is
Okay.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Scott.
Okay.
Go ahead. Interrupt Grant.
Well, loss-wise, some deer found their way over my garden fence and then destroyed my garden, not once, but twice. And according right at the very end when I was getting ready to harvest some corn. So I got some greens in the spring and everything, but then they just got in there and went nuts. So I'm gonna have some work to do this winter. Other than that, a lot of success with chestnuts growing from seed this year, and then I've got a whole bunch of seedlings and a bunch of forage stuff for next year. And then a big plus was had another granddaughter, so this year that was great. So yeah, it's been a good year. Podcast is doing well. Had Grant on last week, and it was the most downloads and
He's just hitting refresh.
Yeah. Well, he's so positive. I mean, what'd you say?
I said you're hitting refresh.
No, I don't listen to it. I need to just so I can get the clip. I tried to take Scott's YouTube short he had and then just re-upload it to my TikTok, but I couldn't figure out how to save it without getting all like the like button and all that junk in the way.
Yeah.
But I just can't because I can't stand to listen to it. I don't edit anything I do. I just record it and send it.
Yeah, I edit it all. Got to take out the uhs and the. And all
Depends
that.
on how anal you want to be. So I don't have time. Long story. Go ahead.
Well, losses this year would be the bull getting struck by lightning. That sucks.
That was very weird. That is so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, and then unbeknownst to us, he had actually bred back our first Jersey. That would have been a purebred Jersey bull. But because I didn't know what I was doing, I tried to start the AI process and aborted that fetus, which feels pretty crummy. So those are probably the big losses from the farm point of view. On a personal side, I just didn't feel that great this year. I think I've got that sorted out mostly. But that slowed us down in terms of getting things going the way we wanted to. But on the plus side, we've got very consistent farm sales, and started a farmer's market with my sister and one of her friends. So those are big wins, and our big plan for 2023 is to start marketing through a website and get that all set up. So we're slowly making steps. I have my 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call it, which is it's a good job. It's, so I've got to balance that with everything else, but that funds all the failures, So good for something.
That's true. Yeah, you gives you some breathing room to, F up when it happens. Like,
well, I mean, just a quick comment. I mean, but that bull, you think about that. If it was a subsistence farmer, it might put you out of, food. I mean, you might be done. So it's, having the ability to have a shock absorber for that kind of event is definitely helpful while you're learning.
Oh yeah. I called my grandparents Christmas Eve, and I was talking to my grandpa for a little bit, and he said he brought up the interest rates lately. I'm like, yeah, this doesn't even really seem that bad historically. And he made a comment saying, well, it was back in the 80s that they raised interest rates like a lot.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
specifically for him, it was like about on farm equipment. Like, well, interest rates on farm equipment when you have like a $400,000 tractor or whatever, like that's a big deal. And
Yeah.
I made the comment saying like, it's amazing that anyone survived, like any farmers came out of that at all. He goes, oh yeah, a lot of people, had to close up shop because of the interest rates back in the 80s on farm equipment. I said, oh, I didn't even think about that. Everyone when bitches about the houses and whatnot got all the way up to like 20% or something crazy.
Yeah,
but farm equipment was up there, so that's nuts, insane. So that's
my first house was 11%. So,
but the money was still it wasn't good, but it was better than.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, having a 9 to 5 to be able to create a buffer, not bad. So, I totally am not prepared for sharing wins and losses this year. I would say losses was the garden. We came out pretty strong, like starting seeds, and then kind of got lazy in the transplant phase. And then when my daughter was born, I mean, it was just like I totally neglected that garden. The fact that we even got a single tomato this year, it was a miracle. I think I have my mother-in-law to thank for that, where she'd go out and water the garden while she was here all summer. Another loss would be I wasted my time on the wrong person looking to have someone come in and take over when that was a huge energy and time suck. But I found out relatively quickly, all things considered, but that was still a waste of time, and that was a loss. And so I'm not really, you don't get that time and energy back. So
and you've got somebody now, right?
I don't.
Don't. Okay.
No, because I ended up taking I don't know, is the new job a win or a loss? I can't tell. I guess it's a win from a financial standpoint, but other than that,
let us know when you get back from Northern Alaska in a couple weeks.
I know. I'm getting sent to Dead Horse, Alaska. If anyone wants to look up where that is.
you were joking. You really are going up there.
I'm serious. Yep. So I know, but so I guess that's indifferent. And then for a win, birth of my daughter. That was a big win. She's healthy. She's kicking butt. Like I was like feeding her solids this weekend, which is pretty great. Oh. My wife was like, "Oh my gosh, she doesn't eat that well for me." I was like, yeah. I'm not entirely present when I'm out of town, but I know how to dad hard when I am.
Got points on that one.
Yeah, that's a great feeling, dude. Other wins, I guess. The growth of this podcast, like I started interviews hard this year. I think I made it. Did I make it to 40? I don't know if I made it to 40.
He made it to me.
I was tapped out after Grant.
Grant broke the mold.
This is the 30th men's forum. I didn't think this was going to go as long as it did, but I'm happy that I started it. This has been great. And then, just kind of developed the 20 by 23 project that was for next year, which, by the way, I think I have my only idea for making that work is just doing it locally. That's the only That's the best thing I can come up with, unless someone else has a better idea for me.
You are still coming to Florida?
If I have a job to do in Florida,
Yeah.
I'll go to Florida. I was in
Gotta start somewhere.
Louisiana. I was in Louisiana 2 weeks ago, and it turns out that I was like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Homestead Padre, which I didn't think about till after. I was like, dang it. I should have taken a day off and gone to visit. But
Yeah, I just looked up Dead Horse, Alaska. It's got a hotel that's a 2-star hotel.
Did you say?
Where
are you?
I stay in 2-star hotels normally.
Yeah.
The La Quinta or La Quinta.
Are you in a place called Dead Horse, Alaska?
Not now, but
that's
I
where
will
he's going
be
next.
eventually.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the best place you could possibly be.
I'm curious
best
how you
place
even
for a
get
horse.
there. That's like on the north
gotta-
coast of Alaska.
I know, it's almost the most northern point of Alaska. I gotta fly to Anchorage and then I don't know, get like some little dinky prop plane to get up there. So
Oh my gosh.
well, that's the only way you get around Alaska is little planes. So
Yeah.
whatever. So let's get into. I didn't know if this could be it's a whole show in and of itself, but who has like actual plans, like concrete plans, like laid out for next year? Like what does that look like? Who wants to go first? Come on, somebody's got to have.
Don't die. I don't.
Don't die. Don't die.
Have fun.
Have fun. Okay.
I don't know.
Like
I don't know. I don't know what you said, but I'm going to say have fun.
Have fun. Well, it looks like I could actually finally, perhaps, maybe, possibly be getting into the beta test stage next year, early next year, and maybe even selling. Well, that's exciting.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
I may build a chicken coop just to use it.
Come on.
Just to use it. You don't want to let them in the house?
No, my mother would. She brought some inside.
Yep.
To feed them. It's like,
that's funny.
I'm gonna eat that chicken, Mom, so it can stay out of the house. She got mad.
She's making it to a pet.
Yep.
Good. Long story. Since you're the most legitimate farmer here, what plans do you have for your farm next year?
Well, the main thing is to get the website up and running. Probably well overdue, but so really what I want to do is build on our business. We've done pretty well with pork, and we've been consistent. I want to add or do better with poultry. We did great with turkeys. Got 130 meat birds right now that I'm going to take the 18th of January to the processor, and I've got 16 meat pigs that are 2 months old and 5 months old. So I've got the pipeline is full for us to be able to do that. I think the main thing we want to do from an infrastructure perspective is build a workshop with walk-in freezer and cooler.
Nice.
So I'm kind of getting plans together for that, and then I want to find a way to get more beef, but I don't have the land for it. I've got land that's really perfect for pigs and goats, but so I'd like to partner with another farmer locally that raises beef on grass, and we've got a market for it if we have it. So those are kind of the three or four main things. The pipeline's full for pork and poultry, and we want to add beef, get the website up and running, and then the crowning achievement for next year, if we can make it work, is we want to start the local food grocery store. That's
cool.
Really.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
What's the latest?
There's a tenant in the building right now, and we have the lease is structured in a way that we could make them leave, but my wife doesn't want to do that. So we got to figure out, like, are we going to use that location or not, then make a decision about the current tenant. So that's just a deciding thing. It's not there's nothing else stopping us. Just gotta make a decision. So
Sure. What is she kind of like the final say? She's got the final say there.
Not so much. I mean, we're pretty much 50-50 partners on everything. We discuss all that. We just have to, we have to figure out how to make the numbers work because,
Yeah.
I mean, the margins on pasture raised meats sold direct to consumer aren't great. I mean, no one's going to get rich doing this. So, having enough sales and margin to be able to, pay the rent, so to speak, on a space is not a trivial thing. There's a lot of work involved there. So,
oh yeah,
that's the issue, is like making sure that we can keep the funding, the sales and the margins where they need to be, so that that's a viable use of that space.
So is that would pencil out better than something like, let's say, like a farm stand that doesn't have the overhead of rent and all the other things?
Well, I mean, we kind of looked at it. The way we looked at it was from a privacy perspective. Not having people coming to our farm all the time would be a but the other thing is the downtown is kind of underserved in our community, and we felt like there'd be an opportunity to get customers we don't get at the farmers market, and also to incorporate other other products. So like, there's a local guy that does microgreens, and there's other farmers that do similar things to what we're doing. And we're not picky. We have their products too. So, we could have a true grocery, and it would be. I appreciate that. I saw a note from Secure Coop. We actually have a used box and all the equipment. So for the cooler, freezer is the problem. So that's going to be a major investment probably. But I have a brother who is in the industry, the HVAC industry, and he comes across used units periodically. So I'm kind of just going to keep my ear to the ground on that and try to find something that we can.
Yeah, the link I sent you is they've invented a way to take a standard window unit air conditioner and use it to create a walk-in fridge.
Cool bot.
And so it saves a bunch of money to do that way.
Yeah.
We had a guy that I know. He bought an old deer. It was a piece of property had been in what do you call it? What do you call it when it's in
foreclosure?
Probate. For a while, they finally got all that settled and they sold the property. And it was a guy that did it was a deer processing facility. So he had 2 walk-in coolers, one of which was salvageable and was 34 degrees when we turned it off and took it apart. So I got that for $800 plus my labor to take it apart. So
worth it.
I can't really argue with that. I mean, it's a piece of part.
That's solid.
Yeah. So
I did hook up back when I was an electrician. We did a chicken processing facility, like small, pretty small. I don't even know what the volume that they put out, but they got their half of their commercial equipment used. Some of them was like chillers, so like there was basically like an ice bath that the chickens would go in after being processed. And they got those used, and like trying to find a manual on how to hook up this stuff from like the 40s, maybe 50s is like impossible. And so it was like a lot of experience was needed to be like figure out how it's supposed to work versus how you kind of guess it would work. And then so there was that, and then I think they got either the freezers. So the freezers and the coolers used as well. And so that, again, it was like, what are we supposed to hook up here? How much does it actually draw? It does,
Yeah.
and we had to work pretty closely with the HVAC guys to be like, is the refrigerant leaking? I don't know, and that kind of stuff. So just can be it might sometimes it might save you money, but if like the tradespeople are working extra hard to make it work, maybe it doesn't save you any money. But if your brother's an HVAC guy, like, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, I was turning on a heater in the greenhouse, so I couldn't respond right away. But yeah, my brother's an HVAC guy, and he'll figure it out. So,
do you pay him in beef?
I've actually paid him in one whole hog and 10 chickens so far. So yeah, we've been
Nice.
bartering, and
That's
we've been
perfect.
bartering a lot with the other vendors at the farmers market too, like getting some greens and produce and things, and trading a pack of pork chops or something like that. So that's been really cool. That's one of my favorite things about going to the market with these guys is, sorry about the car, but the safety Nazis have to come after me for that. But anyway, that's one of the coolest things about the farmers market for me is building these relationships where it's like, hey, I need greens. I had a microgreens guy. He wanted 2 more chickens. The city ordinance allows up to 6, and he said, "Hey, I want 2 more chickens." I was like, "All right, we're gonna do like a trade for microgreens. I have a coop with a bunch of layers, and they're a little crowded, so I thought, I'll de-stress the hens a bit. He gets a couple extra ones, and like little relationships like that are awesome, and I'm loving building that community locally here.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. All right, I'm talking too much. I'm gonna shut up for a minute.
Okay. Scott, your grownutTrees.com. When are you when are you going to be open for shipping next year?
Right now.
So you're ready right now. When are you going to have more available?
So I've got the chestnuts for seeds. I have those. I've got elderberry cuttings, which are ready anytime you want them. And then I've got comfrey. Same thing. I just got to go dig it up.
So it's more than just nut trees. You got a whole.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was like pretty much only chestnut when you talked. Okay, I got you.
Right. Yeah. So and then got some elderberry cuttings anywhere from now to March. And you just take the elderberries and stick the stick in the ground, and it takes off. What were you going to say there, Grant?
I was fixed to say, I've got to do that with my fig trees. Go ahead and take cuttings of those and get those rooted because they need their yearly prune back.
Yeah.
And what I will say, one of my fails is I didn't mulch or protect any of my bulbs. So I had some irises, I had some garlic from Savannah, I had some heirloom onions and stuff that when it got down to 9 the other day at night, all that got nipped. I mean, it should grow back, but they were all looking really good, growing roots, great. And now they're just all like frozen.
Wow.
So they should come back. It's just kind of, I should have done something more to those.
Scott, do you have further plans for the podcast, or how far? Like, what are you thinking you're going to do for that next year? Anything different?
Just keep going, and then start to get a wider, audience or whatever, and folks that want to be on it, right? So I've got shows recorded all the way to February 1st. So
Dang, dude, good for you.
If you run out of spots, I'm always free.
Yeah, then I go around the bend once more time. So yeah. It'll be great.
Man, it's very interesting seeing our different like podcasting styles where like you edit yours I think I started editing mine, and I said this is too much work, and just went with I'm just going in raw.
Just going at
and yep, and then you're planned out to February. I don't know if it's because you're just the way you operate, like you like a process and procedure. Like, yeah, that sounds nice to me too. Doesn't happen.
Right. So I used
My system's so chaotic.
Yeah, I used the holiday break and I recorded several of them. So Perpin, who I originally started with,
I gotta get him on.
Yeah, before he took off and went to Kansas City. He's in town, so we recorded 2 episodes, and then so I mean, it just and I try and keep them short, so they're only 30 to 40 minutes, and it's a little bit easier to manage.
I suppose that's true. I'll just every hour podcast I do, I'll just split it right at 30 minutes, whether it makes sense or not, whether it's a good break.
I've done that before.
And then next episode on
I get some wild clip. Like, what did he say the other day? He said prepping is kindergarten for thriving. Kindergarten skills for thriving or something.
What?
So
what even does that mean?
Oh yeah,
you have to listen and find out.
Yeah, we've got this ongoing thing where we know all these folks that are preppers, and they're all trying to build their prepper compound, and they're not really forming community or doing anything that's going to last, right?
Prepping is kindergarten for thriving.
Yeah, kindergarten skills for thriving. So it's like the first step or something like that.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was something obnoxious like that. So I'll put that as the teaser at the beginning.
Obnoxious. That should just wrap the episode. That's it. That's leave you on a
pretty good summary.
On a good note.
Yeah.
That's good.
We did one today on the Chat GPT AI and central bank digital currency. So
I can't get mine to work. It will not send me like a login code for me to play with this stupid thing. So I don't.
That's because it's experimenting on you to see what it's going to.
Yeah, that's
how far it can push me.
The AI is to make sure you can't get in, to see how frustrated you get.
And then when you do, it's like for 2 weeks it would come up and say that we're over allocated and you're going to have to come back. So it's crazy, but. So yeah, those are, we just these come up while we're driving somewhere, and then we come up with some idea, and then I write it down, and then we sit down and talk about it. That's how the podcast started. We were talking about stuff that other people weren't talking about, so we just started turning the recorder on.
There are lots of conversations to be like, man, I wish this was recorded because it's such a good conversation. And then it's like nothing, like it just doesn't flow the same way because you're almost like trying too hard, oh man, it was so good the first time. Like, how do we get it to sound like that? Like, you're not going to be able to get it to sound like that. Sorry.
Yeah, we have a lot of that problem. So, and then it's like, what were we talking about the other night? And it just doesn't.
You're like forcing it. Yeah, you're like. It just doesn't work. Man, I had something else. Man, I lost it. I don't know. I lost it.
Hey, look at it this way. You got Dead Horse is a high of -11 and a low of -13.
Oh, man.
Okay, you know what? That actually sounds pretty good right now because it is too hot here. In Montana, it's
Can we trade
40-some degrees. This is dumb.
Yeah,
I go outside and I'm like
56
sweating
here in a couple days.
Oh, yuck! Everything's all like 40
degrees, and I'm peeling off the first layer.
We went outside this weekend and we never we had to do like the stereotypical make a snowman family, right? So we did that. I mean, they don't have any arms or anything like that. We just have like balls of snow stacked on top of each other pretty much. And the snow is so wet and gross. And then basically they're all melted down to the ground today already. And so it's just wet and ugly out. And sopping. I don't like it. It needs to be frozen right now. This is nobody
man,
wants
my
a
kids
soggy
had
December
never.
or soggy
My
Christmas.
kids had never seen ice form outside. You know, we're all Florida, so they're like they picked about out of the rain barrel. Big, look, Dad! It's a big disc of ice, and they just grabbed the hatchet and they started chopping at it. And they're loving this. They're like, this is so novel. This is so weird to them. So
send them up here.
Right?
We'll indoctrinate them to
they'll get
real
tired
cold. What they have, right?
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah. Well, I am hoping to take them to see snow. We got to sit and talk with the missus about that, but I think that's going to work out.
Like where?
Up toward Michigan way, that kind of thing. They have like snow tubing, and I want to do that, and just get wherever it's been laying in thick, and I take them up to see it because they've never seen snow. I've been in snow a few times myself. In fact, broke my ACL skiing one time. That was no fun, but I've been on 2 ski trips, and the first trip was just fantastic. I said, I got to do this again. And the second trip, I broke my ACL, and that ended all dreams of going snow skiing ever again in my life. So,
are you going to the UP in Michigan or something?
Not that far. No, I was
okay.
watching. There is a website which keeps track of accumulation and the lake effect on the east side of the lake in Michigan. So Lower Peninsula is pretty thick. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I were in the Rockies, like you guys, it'd be no problem. But we have to hunt a little around on the East Coast.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, and the other big project is the solar. I'm itching to get that installed. So maybe finally have some solar and high efficiency air conditioner. And
what was the hold up there?
Well, the first item was to get the driveway put in and finished, and that's rocking now. So we're using our new driveway.
Because I thought you already had all the panels and everything. Yeah,
I laid them out after we got the driveway in. I laid them out, and now just to lay them out and know where they're going. So I guess the next thing is I need to start installing the air conditioner, which involves removing a cabinet and put that head and unit in there and run those lines and get a guy out to set up the Freon. It's just a lot of little steps. One day at a time.
I would like to let everyone know that I got my Chat GPT working, and I asked it a question. Give me a prompt question about planning for the future. How about that? It said, what steps can you take to plan for your future goals and aspirations? Not bad.
But you cannot ask it to write articles and paragraphs on the pros and cons of using fossil fuels. The pros, they now have written that into their terms of service. It's gone woke. Yeah, it's gone woke. So if you try to have it to write articles, and this is why using fossil fuels are good. These are the advantages of it. It won't do that.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that now. I'll have to break it.
Yeah.
But then watch it kick me out right away now that I got it working. Grant.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought you were busy. Thanks.
No, I'm listening.
For your future goals and aspirations, what steps can you take?
Well, keep doing what I'm doing, basically.
You're okay. Calm down. You're not that great. You got a lot of work to do.
No. I know. Yeah, but keep going down the path I'm going, and eventually I'll get it done.
No, that is a good point. There is something to be said for just keep going. Like sometimes there isn't a whole lot to improve upon, that you just got to put in the work, and that's how you get there.
There's always something so right now I'm kind of in standstill. So I could put more
That's
totes on.
frustrating.
It is. It's extremely frustrating. But the thing is, I've been in standstill for like 2 years now. So things are looking good when it comes to getting the land up north. Up north. 30 minutes north.
You're already in northern Georgia. How much more north can you go?
About an hour and 15 minutes. We're just going about 30 minutes, and then we'll have about 45 acres.
Cool.
That's 45 acres that I can do a whole lot with.
Yeah.
And that's 45 acres that will never leave the family. That's 45 acres I can get things set in stone with. I'm in school, so that's kind of that takes a lot of my time, and then a lot of my stuff just kind of gets stalled because there's really not a whole lot of development. There's a lot I can do here, just to do, like we fenced off more and we're clearing those woods out, like with Bradford pears, privet, chip up cherry trees. I hate wild cherry trees because they're really no use, especially when they're like no bigger than a toilet paper roll, like center. And so we just chip them, and then I use the chips in the garden. I've been
I bet that smells awesome.
Yeah.
Can you send me a handful?
Sure. Do you not have cherry trees?
Yes. Just like a couple hours north of me.
Oh. So yeah, I'll send you a fistful of wild cherry tree shavings.
There's
and then TikTok it, and then at me.
All right. So here's a weird thing about Montana. So the largest lake in the state is Flathead Lake. It's, I don't know, 2 hours north of me. Because you got the lake effect, on the east side of the lake, it gets more like rain, right? Or at least precipitation. They have their own like species of cherry that's grown on that side of the lake. It's called flathead. They're called flathead cherries.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the region range for Prunus serotina, which is like black cherry trees, and y'all don't have them at all.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
It's just
I have to build like a dome to make it survive or something.
I'll send to you the goats, because the goats can't really eat on them. And so I'm just doing what I can do to improve the land here, just in case there's that off chance that, a freak accident happens and I get to keep the house and the land up north. And so I'm not just sitting around watching TV, not doing anything. I'm still doing things, learning things, figuring out how I'm going to do something when I finally get there, just practice basically. And now I think a lot of my stuff I'm going to do is just going to go towards making content, I guess, just because I can think of something semi-creative, do it. It benefits me in a couple different ways.
Sure. It's going to be so weird getting a handful of cherry shavings. I'm just going to film myself taking a big old whiff. And that's pretty much going to be it. When I got my 100 yards of wood chips this year, I think I messed up the video, and I don't even think I posted it. But I was like, this is the good stuff right here. I grabbed a handful of pine and just inhaled it, and I just had wood chips all.
I can't send you enough. You can do that.
All right, that sounds good. I'll have to think about how I'm gonna present it, I guess. So.
I can send some to Dewey, and then he can do it with you. Just to drag in his clout,
Yeah, that's true.
Grift off his numbers.
500,000 followers or whatever he's up to. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really?
No, I don't know.
It's probably 300,000.
It's not far from that. Yeah.
Are you, Christopher? Are you on TikTok now?
No. I just remember him telling you.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I have 575 people following me.
I think I only got 2,000 or something, which is whatever.
And how many of those are bots?
Don't care. Really, 2,000 of them.
Not a lot of them. I've been going through looking.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah, Chinese bots.
you see that thing about heaven banning the other day?
No, I saw the Perpin thing. I saw you posted about that. What does that mean?
So basically, somebody who's aligned with Twitter said that the new thing is not going to be shadow banning, but you're shadow banned, but you don't know it. So they make the bots respond to you, or they have so that you think you're getting engagement, but you're in your own little ghetto bubble, and nobody's engaging or seeing your tweets at all, but you think you're getting engagement.
You're just talking to bots. You're just getting auto response from bots.
Yeah, so they called it heaven banning.
That is something else.
Heaven banning. That's weird. I don't. That it needs a new name. That's a bad name.
Yeah, it does sound kind of cringe.
Yeah, it sounds like you're dead.
Weird.
But
It sounds like you're dead.
I think that's the true meaning of it. But
the true meaning of Twitter. All right. Let's wrap up here. What do you guys want to? Anything you wanna let be known before we sign out?
Revisit something I said earlier. Look up how dopamine and social media affects your motivation and desire to get up and do things, and try to focus on that and for a better 2023. And I think it'll come your way. It seems to be helping me. So,
yep. Use Twitter rather than Twitter using you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just have fun. That's. I mean, take the next year and use it to its max.
I'm just going to point out that I'm not going to take advice from a 21-year-old. That's just
Hey, look at me. Look at how great I'm
So he's going to have an awful year.
No, we
I mean, nothing he said was wrong.
We need to make a bet whether Grant's going to be married by the end of the year.
No, I can tell you no on that one right now.
He's
we'll have a bet
you
for
don't even
I am, but still no.
We're gonna have a bet for married, or a bet for having a child out of wedlock.
Oh no!
Oh no! That's cold.
Sorry, buddy.
Damn.
No.
We can bet against it. It's not like it's like a prophecy or anything like that.
That's awful.
Or just and then a third option for both.
All the above.
Yeah, there you go.
God.
It was. I wanted to find it really quick, and I just can't. But so in my what is that?
Woodpecker
noise?
again.
Is that Grant?
No,
Scott.
it's not me. I'm laughing at it.
It's Scott.
Okay, so in my little banner poster thingy that we were talking about having a good year, right? So I have my little release of 20 by 23 project, blah blah blah. There's a picture of a rooster on it, and like it's in front of a farm. It's just like clip art basically. And someone was like, "Hey, you should take this down. This is not good." I go, "What?" I swear they go 2023 is I think it was the year of the rat, and the rat is the enemy of the rooster, and so you're
Your
gonna have
feng
a bad
shui
year.
is off.
Hey, look.
You're gonna have a
Say
bad
what you want.
2023 based on this alone. I do not have time for this superstition. And then like he and his buddy came in, like they were chatting like with each other, like, "Yeah, look at this guy, he's dumb because he doesn't follow the Chinese New Year." Like, holy crap.
The
Go
Chinese
away.
zodiacs are pretty kind of spot on if you look at them.
It's a picture of a cartoon.
I'm not talking about the
rooster.
picture. I'm just never mind.
No, let's hear it, Grant. Why should we all follow the Chinese New Year?
I don't think you should follow the New Year. Just like look up the just do like the zodiac stuff, and it's kind of spot on.
I'm gonna ask Chat GPT, why should we follow the Chinese New Year?
Yeah, there you go.
The two people that are in there.
Yeah. But we'll do that in the after show just really quick. Okay. Christopher, go ahead.
All right,
Plugs.
so
The plugins.
securecoop.com. Working on a coop door opener with phone notifications. I work for a Fortune 50 company, and we do heavy duty monitoring on our servers and make sure they never go down. And I've used the same concepts and principles to develop a phone app that keeps an eye on your chicken coop, and later on Secure Farm. I'm going to be branching out to all sorts of areas in the backyard. But starting with the chicken coop, get on the website. There is a free ebook on coop protection, and get the coupon below. And then, but if you get in the mailing list, there's also a coupon. You can combine them together. And I'm hoping to maybe in the next year start selling. I hope so. It's been all sorts
in 2023.
Right. It's been all sorts of technical hurdles and challenges, but I've not given up. I've been relentless on this almost every day, working on it little by little, chipping at it, and we're going to get there. So,
I think you're going to have a good. I think you're going to have a good 2023 because it's all chicken focused, and 2023 is the year of the rat. So I think you're going to have a good year next year.
If it's the year of the rat and it's going to be good, I mean, let's kill all the ones we have around the house now.
All the rats?
Oh,
yeah.
Rats.
With
I don't know who is next. Grant, go ahead.
yeah, follow me at Homestead of Pain on TikTok. I'm just going to be cranking out content that not many people are going to watch. I'm just going to do it just to do it. But yeah, follow me if you want to listen
all
to
your
me.
videos.
Do it, please do it. It'll probably help your numbers more than mine.
It should, yeah. And then I'll just tear you a new hole.
Just do it every time. I need new holes.
Like this guy's. Here we are at the end. Scott, go ahead.
Yes, Scott Miller, Thriving the Future podcast, finding positive solutions to thrive in the tough times ahead. It's on your fave podcast app and thrivingthefuture.com. You love that, don't you?
It's funny that a man in his 50s says fave.
Well, it fits because otherwise I run out of space on my tweet.
Not unless we get 4,000 characters. I am
No.
Andrew Rozier of A Farm Hop Life. We are still planning on a traveling homestead, just smaller, localized, local communities or something. I don't know. We'll make it work. We'll make it fit. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll catch you next week.
Take care.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.